Before I jump into what's new with the Convotherm Maxx, I'd like to remind everyone all of the great features and benefits that we already have with the Convotherm line. So first of all, we have the broadest line of any combi manufacturer globally in terms of every possible size. Every possible size that exists is in the Convotherm line. In addition, we have two types of controllers, as most competitors do. We have the Easy Touch, which is by far our most popular seller, and we have our what we call our Easy Dial. Our competitors also call that Classic, but those are very similar. In addition, and importantly, across all those sizes, we have both gas and electric in every size, and boilerless or generator in every size. Now, the exception there is our mini line. Most minis in the industry are electric only, and the vast majority are boilerless. In addition, right door is standard. However, I will tell you our disappearing door, we sell many, many more of our disappearing doors. You can see the obvious benefits from a saving standpoint, in terms of space as well as safety. You don't have to worry about burning yourself on the door. Some of the options on our line include Convo Smoke, which is a one-touch ability to add smoke to your cooking methods. And we are launching for the first time a hot smoke feature. Historically, we've had just basically ambient smoke. Ambient smoke is great for things like cream and frankly water, to do smoked ice cubes and smoked ice cream. And now we also have the hot smoke, which will speed up the cooking process during smoking. We also have Convo Grill, which is our patented grease management system, which works very, very well. In fact, we've recently rolled out in a large grocery chain, and they are loving it. It's working really well for them and saving them some money on maintenance, which is fantastic. We also have corrections packages and marine. In addition, I would encourage you to look at our school packages, which are on auto quotes. They have everything a school needs to get started in terms of the right accessories. Our fry baskets are very popular for doing fried items, and they're priced really, really well for the school systems. And we are the only combi in the country that has a 3-year parts and labor warranty for schools, so please do check that out. The other thing I want to let you know is that even though we're manufactured in Germany, we were actually the first combi line in the US to launch the Quick Ship program. So we have a very large inventory of combi ovens ready to ship from Tennessee. So whether you're on the West Coast or the East Coast, you can feel confident that you're going to get your equipment very, very quickly. So what I want to do now is really share the general Convotherm features and benefits. And by far, our biggest advantage is our Advanced Closed System Plus. So what does that mean? That is really the way we are engineered. Our cooking chamber is engineered, and it is proprietary to Convotherm. So just to kind of bring it to life a little bit for you, most of our competitors' combi ovens are built with an open system. And I'll give you an example of an open system, right? I'm in Florida, it's very hot here. I air condition my home, of course, as probably most of you do. If my house were an open system, I would be air conditioning my house with the windows open. So as you can imagine, most people don't do that because it costs a lot of money, right? So that's very similar to most of the combis on the marketplace that have open systems. Convotherm, with its Advanced Closed System Plus, is more like air conditioning your home with the windows closed. So once your house gets to temperature, the air conditioner doesn't need to run anymore, except for little bits at a time to make sure that temperature maintains itself. So that's one of the big benefits. And why does that matter? Why is the closed system important? Well, the first one is, just like with our houses, it delivers a lot of energy savings because we're only maintaining that. We're not having to constantly reheat that air. In addition, we have a sizable water savings, which we know is extremely important on the West Coast. Also, no flavor transfer. And what I mean by that is you could actually cook cookies and, let's say, salmon at the same time, or onions, and when you taste those cookies, you will not detect any of the salmon or onion flavor on those cookies. The other benefit to the closed system is very evenness of browning. So whether you have a full load, a partial load, but every shelf will have evenness in temperature, browning, and crispness across the board. And then finally, we are UL listed ventless, no hood required. You heard me right, no hood required on our electric 6 and 10 shelf models. And even this configuration here, where I have two what we call 620s, is also ventless without a hood. Now, local codes always prevail, as we know. The other benefit of Convotherm, now that I've talked about the advanced closed system and the benefits of the closed system, I want to move on to our hands-free, fully automated cleaning. So the big benefit here for operators is your employees don't have to hand touch the chemicals to clean the combi ovens like they do for many of our manufacturers. With us, we have a liquid cleaning chemical that is attached by a hose, and I'll show you in a minute how to set some cleaning up, but literally your employees just push a couple of buttons and they're done. They never have to touch the chemicals, which is a big, big benefit. The other thing is we clean in about half the time of our competitors. So a full cleaning in a Convotherm will take less than 2 hours. For some of our competitors, it's almost 4 hours. So that's a big savings as well. One more benefit I really want to talk about is our serviceability. It's very important. We are the only combi manufacturer in the United States that has centralized service dispatch. So what that means is an operator can call the kitchen care number and speak to a trained technician on the phone. During that call, they'll troubleshoot and try to do everything they can to fix the issue during that phone call. If they find a service visit is still needed, that technician from Wellbuilt will dispatch that call to the FAS. And here's what's really important. When they dispatch it, they're going to include all of the notes that were taken, any error codes, and importantly, any spare parts that might be needed to fix that Convotherm and get it up and running. So that's a great way to reduce cost of ownership and make sure your equipment downtime is really minimized. So additional elements in terms of service is we do have 5 service hatches. And why is that important? Because you want your technician to be able to get in and out and get to the parts they want very, very quickly. Some of our competitors, you have to actually lift the oven and put it on its back to get in through the bottom to reach some of the components. So that's going to take 1 or 2 people and likely extra time and extra cost. Another service benefit is we have electronic components that are engineered with what's called Poka-Yoke principles. And the translation of Poka-Yoke is mistake proofing. So the great news is if any electronic components need to be changed, it's impossible to connect them incorrectly. So another great benefit. And then the final benefit from a service standpoint is our German manufacturing partners. They did a great job of coming up with very few spare parts needed across that entire line. So for example, 1 core probe is needed across the entire line and only 2 motors. So that means when your technician shows up, they're very likely to have the right part on the truck. So that's a summary of all the benefits of the Convotherm line in general. And now what I want to do is focus on the Convotherm Max Pro. So the first thing we've done, get rid of this, is we have, as you heard earlier with the common controller across the Wellbuilt brands, we have adopted that. We've moved from a 9-inch to a 10-inch screen, high definition, with capacitive touch, so just like using your smartphone. And we've also moved up some of the important elements that were a little bit smaller and harder to find, up to make it easier to locate them. So some of the features about the controller that I want to share, and you did hear this earlier as well, but this unit is born digital. So it is fully Wi-Fi enabled. In fact, you can see right here the Wi-Fi indication that it is connected right now, which is fantastic. So here's how operators are using this capability, the Wi-Fi capability. A big one and an important one is updating cooking profiles. So for example, a lot of operators have limited time offers, and if they're a multi-unit operator, it makes it really easy with a subscription to Kitchen Connect to be able to send those LTOs directly to all of their combi ovens right from their office. So we see by far that that's one of the biggest benefits. The second is pulling back HACCP data, which is important. Another thing they can do as part of that is they can see how often are the combi ovens being cleaned. Because we know that if you keep a Convotherm or any combi oven clean, it's going to have a much longer service life. The great news is managers could then look at specific store locations and say who's doing a good job of cleaning and who might not be, and put some programs in place to really enhance that. So some of the other benefits to being digital, the ability to monitor service issues as well as equipment utilization. A couple of other hardware features, and if you can maybe do I don't know if you can get a good close-up on this, but we have a Maxx Pro here stacked on a Convotherm 4, which is not a Maxx Pro. And one of the benefits is we have added new LED lighting. You can see the difference in the brightness of the cavity here versus where our Convotherm is today. So that's another big benefit. The great news too is when you open the door, that light's going to turn off, which is going to save some energy, which is great. The other thing I want to show is we have now launched a triple pane door, and one of the benefits that we see with this is when you pull out this first panel, it folds all the way out, and that's important because you can really get in there and clean both of these panels. Some of the competitive ovens that have triple pane only open about this far, so it's really hard for somebody to get into that very corner to clean it. Some of the new functions as well with the Maxx Pro is the ability to set cleaning reminders and also force a clean. So imagine you're an operator and maybe you want your employees to do a quick clean every single day and maybe a level 4 clean, the strongest clean, once a week. And I'm going to show you here quickly how you would do that on the controller. Before I do that, one of the great things is we do have cleaning reminders now. We set this a little bit earlier in the day, and you can see as the operator walks up, they're reminded, oh, yeah, it's time to do a water flush. So I'm showing you that part first because we had that set up for you to take a view. All right, so here's how you would set that up, and I'll just do one just to show you how it works. So let's say for the daily cleaning, you would go into Favorites, click the plus, and I'm going to do a level 1, and I'm going to do that with a regular. I'm going to save it. I'm just going to put a Y in, but you can name it what you want. Oops. And, sorry. And then you can see how you can save it. I'm sorry, with the water flush happening there, it kind of took me offline. But it's very easy to save all different types, and what's important from an operator standpoint is they can really manage the water and energy use as well as the chemical use by setting up those custom cooking profiles. And the other thing I've already spoken about is we do now have hot smoke as well, which is a very feature that's been requested. All right, so that is my summary of Maxx Pro and what's new as well as Convotherm. It looks like we have a couple of questions. The first one is, have the accessories changed for the Maxx Pro? The great news is no, they have not. And in fact, we're showing here that you can stack a Maxx Pro unit on top of a Convotherm unit. So all of the internal equipment and accessories, as well as the external stands, are all the same. So that's going to be great. The second is what sizes are available for the Maxx Pro. So it's basically the Convotherm 4 line in the 6 and 10 shelf models. Those are the ones that will ultimately be replaced by Maxx Pro. And you'll already see that there are some models shipping already of the Maxx Pro. The third one is, will the Convotherm 4 be retrofittable with the new controllers? And the answer is yes. In fact, we've done exactly that on this bottom oven here, where it is a Convotherm 4, not a Maxx Pro, but we were able to retrofit that with the common controller. One more question, will the Mini be upgraded? Yes, the Mini will be upgraded, and that will launch in 2022. We'll also have the common controller with the Wi-Fi ability. All right, so that's it on Convotherm Maxx Pro.